Welcome back to Based on a Book, the podcast that's wandering the foggy streets of Derry, creeping through the halls of the Overlook, and hiding from killer clowns and storm drains, all in the name of book to screen adaptations. I'm Lindsey, your royal subject in the House of Horror.
I'm Crystal, and I hate horror, but I love Stephen King.
And I'm Keri, not to be mistaken with the powerful telekinetic one.
And today, I'm hosting our very first episode of Stephen King Month. That's right, throughout September, we're honoring the master of horror, suspense, and strange small towns with 3 very different King adaptations that prove the King does have range. We're going to kick things off with a look at the man behind the madness. So before we get into our adaptations that we'll be covering this month, Stephen Edwin King was born in
Not the whole government name.
Edwin. That one was not expecting that middle name, but right. Stephen Edwin King was born in 1947 in Portland, Maine. King has published over 65 novels and 200 short stories, and that's just what's been published. His work has sold over 350 million copies worldwide, and more than 50 of his stories have been adapted for the screen, making him the most adapted living author. What makes King so fascinating is that he doesn't just write horror. He explores addiction, grief, adolescence, and morality, all wrapped up in terrifying or twisted packaging. And whether it's supernatural or the all too human, he knows how to tap into fear. And his first novel, Keri, was rejected 30 times before being published in 1974. And it was adapted into a film just 2 years later, and the rest is spooky history. Oh, and
can you
fun
believe
fact,
that being rejected like so many times?
it's honestly inspiring.
Being iconic.
Yeah.
Apparently, though, it was his wife who saved the manuscript from the trash when he got so discouraged. So, shout out to Mrs. King.
Yeah. Listen to your wife.
He also hates
right?
Mambo number 5. Because apparently King was writing something and just kept listening to Mambo number 5.
Oh, interesting.
And she threatened to leave him because he kept playing the song. So
I still want to know what happened to Mambo's number 1 through 4.
and why there aren't
We'll never
6,
know.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Right? 5 was the only good one, folks.
But King originally published several books under the pen name of Richard Bachman, including The Long Walk, which is one of the titles that we're covering this month. So here is a breakdown of the King lineup that we've got in store for September. First, we have The Life of Chuck, one of his newest stories adapted by Mike Flanagan. Crystal, do you want to talk a little bit about why you picked this one?
Well, like I said in the intro, I'm not a fan of horror, but Stephen King writes some amazing dramas. His stories, a lot of his dramas really focus on the human condition, just life in general, and muddling through it, and how even the small mundane moments can be really special. And that resonates with me. So when I saw they were adapting Life of Chuck, and that, well, they already had, and it was released in other parts of the world before it was here, but when I found out it was coming here, I was like, nope, this is the one for me. This is what we're doing. And of course, Tom Hiddleston. So
there you go.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that.
Yep.
And then next we have The Monkey, a creepy little short story about a murderous toy monkey. Keri, what made you pick this one?
You mean outside of Theo James being in the movie? No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding.
No.
I love Theo James. But I mean, I really like the idea of us doing a lot of new adaptations. I mean, all of our picks, I think, are mostly in, I think, 2025.
Mhm.
So I love the idea of doing that. The Monkey is 2025 adaptation. Also from, you said a short story. It's from the Skeleton Crew collection, which is, I really like that collection a lot. So I was excited to grab from that one. Also, a storyline revolving around siblings, I believe twin brothers. I'm not 100% certain on that because I've been trying to stay away from the synopsis because we love going in blind on these
Mhm.
stories. Also, a horror comedy. So, kind of, it's still horror, but a horror comedy. So, trying to like mix it up a little bit between the three of us.
Mhm. I think that I like horror comedy. Like, if it's meant to be funny, that's a little different. It takes the edge off the scary. I like this.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
am
I'm excited about
excited.
that one.
Yeah, I'm really excited about horror comedy.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we do have The Long Walk. And this one is giving Hunger Games. So
Yeah.
that's kind of why I picked it.
Also,
Also,
our first like third theater release.
it is our first theater release. And I was excited to do one under his Bachman pseudonym. So I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, that one's gonna be fun. I was like debating on, I know we were discussing of doing, one of his classic stories because personally I have not seen a lot of the classics or read the classics, which is probably like, oh my god, like why haven't you read or seen these? Like I haven't read or seen The Shining, which is probably like absolutely insane. Pet Cemetery, Misery, Gerald's Game.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are big ones that I really want to cover as well. But I don't know, the idea of doing like all brand new releases was really exciting. So,
There's a ton that I haven't seen either, but now that we're doing this podcast, I'm purposely not watching them because I want to like save them for if we do. I'm kind of super excited about the idea of doing more Stephen King, as much as I might not always enjoy the material. There's no denying I love his writing, so I'm kind of excited by the idea that although this month might be our big Stephen King focus, there's probably going to be more Stephen King to come.
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely. For sure. I had never read a lot of Stephen King before we started the podcast. I'd seen a lot of movies, so I was actually really nervous. I wasn't sure what to expect from
That
his writing.
surprises me. From like the horror queen herself.
Right?
Not reading a ton of Stephen King is so crazy to me.
I'd always heard it was really detailed and depth. It was a lot to it, and I was honestly intimidated by his writing.
Yeah,
I feel that.
I will admit, I'm pretty sure I've said this before on the podcast that the longer stories I have yet to have success with. And the shorter stories I've had a lot of success with.
Yeah.
So I'm really waiting for that longer story to really grasp me, like really get me. So I'm excited for that. I think there's a lot of potential out there. So out of his entire backlist, so that I'm really interested in.
Were there any other Stephen King facts or bits that we want to discuss?
Something I really love that he does is that he has this program called the Dollar Baby Program, which was developed, I think, in like the 70s when he was like first started getting super big. I believe it was like the success was starting with like The Shining, which helped upcoming filmmakers where he would sell his short stories to these upcoming filmmakers for just $1, where you get to use the short story, to create movies, but you couldn't use them to necessarily make a profit, but you could use them for school, like education purposes, or at like educational institutes, charity, or at film festivals. And people would review them and they can bring opportunities to those filmmakers. And I thought that was really cool that he has this program. And it's been like, it's active. Like they still have, they call them like Dollar Baby films all the way up to like 2024. They're
That's
still
really
doing
cool.
them.
Yeah, that's really cool. I really
Yeah,
like
I
that.
love that. I think that's
Mhm.
amazing.
In my Stephen King research, I found that he was a contestant on Celebrity Jeopardy twice. He won it in, I think, 1995. And he was playing against David Duchovny and Lynn Redgrave. But with Celebrity Jeopardy, whatever they win ends up being a donation to the charity of their choice. And his charity was the Bangor Public Library in Maine. And I think it's really awesome that he still to this day is really big in donating to public libraries and to public organizations that serve the communities that he's in. I always hope that if I ever got to a point where I had more money than I could really use myself, that I would try to help promote and help care for the communities that helped care for me. So I think it's really awesome that him and his wife, his whole family, keep doing that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Mhm.
Something I also really love about him is that with his stories, there's a lot of like when you have such a huge backlist, something that's really exciting about the fact that of this huge, backlist that makes it's still really intimidating, but makes it maybe a little less intimidating is and more exciting is the fact that there's crossover characters and there's crossover, locations. There's connections that can be made between these novels that may not necessarily have to do with each other, but you can make these different connections with their worlds, and I love that in
Yep.
books. I
Yep.
love that. Even if they're just, like, really silly, super small connections, it's super fun to if you're just, like, a diehard fan or if you're just getting into it, to have maybe, like, a starting point. Like, this is the reading order if you wanna find all these connections, and I love that there is a focus on that, and, like you said, he's from Maine, and a lot of his stories are set there, and I think that's really cool. I love that.
Well, even in like The Mist that we covered, the painting that the main character was doing in the beginning of The Mist was actually the cover of one of his next books, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the
Yeah,
Dark Tower series.
there you go.
Yeah.
And then, like in real life, he owned radio stations in Maine. And in one of his books, one of the characters talks about her job at the local radio station, specifically stating the radio station that he owns. So there's like all those random little like Easter eggs here and there
Mhm.
that tie back to either real life or previous stories is really kind of neat.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he will make special appearances in some of his adaptations. I have not seen the adaptations that he has made a special appearance in, but he has, like, a couple that, like, he's,
Mm-hmm.
like, a background person or something like that. So, I realize I have actually not seen a ton of adaptations. I think I've only seen, like, 6 adaptations, which was crazy to me when I was, like, going through everything. I was like, "What? I've only
Right?
seen 6 of his movies? That's crazy to me."
6 of his, how many did we say? There's what, 300, 400, something like that. Like, I don't think it's that many, but it feels like it's that many.
Yeah, well, I think there's, like, only 140 or something that were
Yeah.
actually adapted
It's just
into, like, a
insane.
movie.
It's so wild to me that he is such a prolific author, and not just a great author, but that these stories are so good, because anybody could write 140 books if they didn't mind writing trash. You know what I mean? Like anybody can sit down and write material, but to
Mhm.
write good material, to write material that people want to read, that's just that's that level of skill. I I don't
And he
understand
throws
how.
them out, like, he
Yeah,
throws them out, which
I
is
don't
kind of
understand
insane.
the stories that live in this man's head. That's so much creativity. It just blows me away.
Yeah, and I think, like, in my opinion, I'll say in my opinion, some of them I think can be an acquired taste because I think he is known for that slow burn fear in some of them. Like I'm thinking of like Cujo and stuff, where it's like, or Gerald's Game, where it's like that one night and it's just, that slow burning, you know, scariness that's happening, whether it's like in your head throughout the night. And it's just like, that's not my favorite thing to read personally. I think that's why I don't usually gravitate towards him too much. But yeah, I think one of my favorite reads from him have been Keri and The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. Those are my top two favorites.
They're
I love those two.
They're doing a Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon adaptation, right? Aren't they?
Yeah, which is so crazy to me because they just like, how many adaptations have they done in 2025 of his books?
Right.
It's
now they're signing on to another one is so insane.
And they're gonna do Cujo soon. They're redoing Keri soon.
Which is also kind of insane because how many Keris are there? Like 3 already?
Something like that, yeah. I think Mike Flanagan is doing Keri, right? Is that right?
I think so.
I know he just did Life of Chuck.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I
believe so. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Me too. That's
another tie back to us. Stephen King was mentioned in the Princess Bride. William Goldman mentioned that Stephen King was going to be adapting the Buttercup's Baby, which was supposedly like the next in the series, in the book. But William Goldman also wrote the screenplay for Misery. Like Stephen King and William Goldman knew each other, and that was kind of an inside joke between the two of them. So,
my God, I totally remember that in Buttercup's Baby or whatever.
I think that's so.
That was so funny. I was like, what the heck is going on?
Right?
Stephen King know this.
Apparently, no, but he thought it was hilarious because he loved William Goldman. So, I think that's neat.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Well, I think we're going to get into our game for the episode.
I'm so excited.
We're calling this King or Not King. And I'm going to start with a short synopsis of a story, and then my co-hosts will have to guess. Is it a real Stephen King story, or is it something that we made up?
Oh,
it could go any direction.
Interesting. Okay.
And
I'm excited.
If you want a hint, I can give you the title of the story as well before you make your guess.
Okay. This is either going to be really great or really embarrassing.
Right?
So our first title is A Family Prepares to be Teleported to Mars, but the son opens his eyes during the process, and it doesn't go well.
Oh my gosh.
This seriously sounds like
I feel
something
like this is a Stephen King. And I almost, is this the Jaunt? Or I think, is this the Jaunt?
It is.
Oh my gosh.
Get it, Keri.
That was a complete guess. That was literally a complete guess. I've never read that before.
I've
literally never read it.
I had full confidence that you were going to get that one because the Jaunt is in the Skeleton Crew.
Yes.
I know how much you like the Skeleton Crew, so I had a feeling you were going to get that one.
That was one that's been on my TBR. I have not read yet, but I've heard that it had like some type of teleportation thing happening in it.
Well,
nice.
Okay, point for me.
Wait, are we keeping score?
No, I don't know.
If we are, someone write it down because I did.
I got it. Keri won. Got it.
Okay.
All right. Title number 2. A man discovers a mirror in an antique shop that shows alternate versions of himself committing crimes.
Alternate versions of himself committing crimes.
This sounds very...
In a mirror.
This sounds very Philip K. Dick, actually. This sounds like a Minority Report type thing. I'm going to say not King.
Oh, I feel like it's not King. I'm gonna agree with Crystal.
Final answers?
I know, right?
Okay, yeah, final answer.
Okay. You're both right. That is not King.
Hey.
Yes.
All right. A hitchhiker picks up a mysterious woman and soon finds himself committing a series of violent crimes.
That's Stephen King. Gotta be Stephen King. There's a hitchhiker. Yeah, that's seems very Stephen King. Seems very Maine.
I'm actually gonna go a hitchhiker. This is so basic. This is like, I feel like this is like every horror movie I've ever seen. Oh.
Do you want a hint?
Do 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 do.
I'm gonna say not Stephen King.
Final answers?
Yeah.
It is Stephen King.
No.
Hey. What's the title?
Nona.
I knew I'd heard this one before.
Interesting. Okay.
Tied game, folks. Tied game.
Tied.
A detective interviews a suspect who claims his wife has been possessed by something not of this world.
Okay.
Hmm.
Listen, this. I can't think of what Stephen King this would be or that I've even heard it, but it does sound very Stephen King-y. King-esque. I'm going with Stephen King. This is
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna
Stephen
go
King.
with Stephen King on this one. And no, it's not that one book. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Stephen King.
It is King.
Hey!
Yay!
It's titled Red Screen, and it was published on Humble Bundle.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay. We're getting sneaky up in here.
Mm-hmm.
A little sneaky. A gardener in New England discovers he's been growing flowers in a cursed graveyard.
I would read that, but I don't think it's Stephen King.
No. I don't think it's Stephen King.
It is not Stephen King.
Hey! We're getting good at this, Keri.
Yep. I don't know why, it's my intuition.
Is that a real book?
I have no idea.
Oh, well, if anybody knows a book with that plot, let us know, because I'd actually like to read it.
Let's see. A young man buys roses for his sweetheart, but there's something deadly behind his charming smile.
Huh.
I mean, I feel like that's just about anybody on Tinder.
Like, what? I feel like I need a hint for this one. I need a hint.
Okay. The title of the story is The Man Who Loved Flowers.
No, this is not Stephen King.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Not Stephen King.
It is Stephen King.
No way!
Oh, Lindsey gets a point. She stumped us both.
Yeah, Lindsey gets a point.
That one is from Night Shift.
What? I'm pretty sure that's like his very first collection.
I believe so.
I don't think I would read that one. See, even Little thinks it's crap.
Yeah. The title felt really basic.
It really did.
So I was like, interesting. Okay.
Scientists keep 5 subjects awake for 15 days using an experimental gas with horrifying results.
That's Stephen King.
I feel like that might actually be real life. I'm just saying. They did some weird ass experiments in the 40s and 50s. Just could be. Yeah, that sounds like something Stephen King would write.
It is not Stephen King.
Oh! Lindsey gets a point again.
Yep.
That is The Sleep Experiment, which is an internet creepypasta.
Oh my gosh, Lindsey.
That is creepypasta.
You're killing us. Okay.
An elderly woman decides to cross the frozen bay to the mainland for the first time in her life, but she's not walking alone.
Yeah, that's got to be a Stephen King.
Yeah. When you said the mainland,
Yeah.
yeah, that's Stephen King.
It is Stephen King.
Yes.
Hey.
That is
All right.
The Reach from Skeleton Crew.
All right. Keri and Crystal are tied at 5 each. Lindsey has 2.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting points, so I'm excited.
We're generous around here.
Thank you. Explorers in Antarctica discover a race of small frozen humanoids buried in the ice who might not be entirely dead.
I feel like I've seen this movie. No, that wasn't humanoids. That was bacteria.
I'm going to say no.
I'm gonna say
I was
no.
going to say, I'm
That's
going to
not
say
Stephen
no.
King.
I don't feel like it is.
It is not Stephen King.
Yes!
Okay. All right.
Okay, this is our last one for the game.
Okay.
During a foggy spring, a college campus is plagued by a serial killer, and the narrator suspects he knows more than he should.
This
Is the
so
narrator the
vague.
killer? But he
This
doesn't
is
know
so
it.
vague.
But
Can we get a hint? I want a hint.
The title is Strawberry Spring.
that is unhelpful.
That did nothing for me.
I'm gonna say
I'm going to say
that
Stephen
is
King.
Stephen King.
And you would be right.
Yes!
Okay.
That is from
Well.
Night Shift.
Well, Lindsey, I'm sorry to say you lost your own game. Keri and
Okay.
Crystal, we tie Keri at 7 points each.
There we go.
That was fun.
That was fun. That was great.
You upset Little.
Yeah. Little
I'm
wanted
sorry.
to play.
Little did a great job. The commentary was spot on.
She says thank you.
The meows in the background's great.
If our editing software edits out Little's commentary after I just said that, I'm going to sound like a crazy person. Just so anybody listening knows, there is a cat present. There's 2. One's really loud.
It's not this one.
Yeah. There is one crying in the background at this moment.
But now we're going to get into our question of the episode. What is your favorite Stephen King adaptation?
I'm going to start because my answer's crap.
I was going to let Little start, but go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, Little.
She left.
I don't feel like I've seen enough to have a favorite because I really haven't seen that many. Shawshank has a very, very tender place in my heart. I don't want to talk about Life of Chuck yet because that's our next week's episode. But I am very much looking forward to reading and watching Thinner if we ever do that. Because it's about a curse and I love a good curse. So yeah, that's the one I'm looking forward to.
Okay. Keri.
Yeah, I feel kind of similar because I haven't seen that many.
Mhm.
But out of the 6 that I've seen, okay? Out of the 6 that I've seen Shawshank, 1408, The Mist, the 2017 version, not seen the older version,
Don't.
In the Tall Grass, and I've seen Salem's Lot. The older version than from like 1979. Shawshank has to be probably my favorite. I want to say The Mist is my second just because of the ending is so crazy and so absurd.
I'm still mad about it.
Yeah. But I do want to say my least favorite out of those 6. And it's that Salem's Lot movie. That movie is absolutely unhinged in the worst way possible.
I want to
make that note.
I want to see the newer one too. I haven't seen the newer one.
I do want to see that. Also, In the Tall Grass, I was like, because I was, like I said, I was looking through all like the adaptations that I'd seen, and I was trying to remember all of them. And In the Tall Grass, the Netflix adaptation, I don't know if either of you have seen that.
I haven't
That
watched
was
it yet.
freaking crazy. That was crazy. You guys got to see that.
I'll have to
for
check it out.
sure.
It's definitely on my watch list in my queue.
Yeah, you got to watch that.
Lindsey, what's your favorite?
Honestly, I have so many, but I really like both of the It adaptations. I like the older one and the newer one.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the handful of his horrors. Like, that's when I stopped having anything to do with Stephen King, was watching the original It adaptation. It was a two-parter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you had the VHS, I
Mm-hmm.
watched the first VHS. I never watched the second. I barely got through the first one. And that's when I realized that, like, that is a defining moment in my childhood. That should be red flag number 1. Who let a child watch that movie? And number 2, why didn't they make me watch the end to at least get some resolution? I don't even know if there is any resolution, because I'll never watch it. I'm never going to watch it. I'm never going to read it. And I'm never going to watch the new one.
I feel like that It movie is like a defining factor for so many people's fears of clowns.
Yeah, and somebody today suggested that we should do Clown in a Cornfield together, and I was like, no. I don't even know why it's a discussion. No, there's a clown and a cornfield. Absolutely not.
Wrap it up. Lindsey and I saw that. We thought it wasn't that bad. I mean, you would probably not like it.
Die.
Yeah.
Hide in my popcorn. It's
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have popcorn. I'd be scared of the popcorn because we're in a cornfield. No. Y'all. Mm-mm.
Oh
But
my
Stephen King
God.
dramas are good.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember watching it for the first time, and like you said, it cuts off. And I remember it cutting off, like he was in the bathtub and it cuts off.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? That's not the end. I was so confused.
Oh, I was just terrified. I didn't take showers by myself for so long. And I was afraid to close my eyes in the shower. Like, oh, it was bad. Who lets a kid watch them? To be very clear, it was my parents. Nobody get mad at parents. It was a really bad babysitter.
I'm pretty sure I just let myself watch it. It's fine.
Yeah, Lindsey's like, let me just turn this on real quick.
Right?
Why do we own this VHS? Let me pop this in the VCR here.
Goes to sleep perfectly fine. She's just like sleeping well.
Not me. Nope.
That was me when I would stay home from school sick and I'd fall asleep watching Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh my God. That is crazy. That's unhinged. That is unhinged.
This is why she is our queen of creep.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. You were born for this moment.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like I'm living up to my potential and I'm really excited about it. Out here living my best life.
There you go.
But you guys, that was so much fun and hopefully a little creepy. We are so excited to spend the month with the Master of Horror, and we'd love to hear what your favorite Stephen King adaptation is. Be sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode this month. Next up, again, is The Life of Chuck. It's super bittersweet story that's part existential crisis, part horror, and part, well, I guess we'll find out. And don't forget, if audiobooks are your jam, you can support our show by checking out Libro FM. You get amazing audiobook recommendations and support indie bookstores. You'll find our affiliate link in the show notes and on our Beacons page. And remember, stay spooky, stay curious, and maybe don't trust that monkey on the shelf. And we'll catch you in the next chapter of Based on a Book. Bye.
Bye.